So the impulse came today, and here I am. And I have no idea what's going to happen. It's just as exciting as for you who are watching this, because I have no idea what I'm going to do tonight. Whatever I do just comes from the guidance. There's no preparation. It's just all happens in a moment. So I'm excited, and I'm happy to share. So let's begin with a little tantric tune-up, tuning into the tantric divine current. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, just allow the breath to go down into the earth, feeling the connection with the earth, feeling the pelvis becoming heavy, heavy and loose. If you like, you can visualize a powerful taproot, energetic taproot coming, extending down from your tailbone, tapping into the womb of Mama Earth, the source of nourishment, the source of grounding, the source of aliveness. And through that root, draw that aliveness into your being. And my body always does the tantric way. I'm slightly contracting the pelvic muscles as I'm drawing the life force. If that's a new thing for you, do not worry about it. We'll do it later. So again, exhaling, relaxing, and drawing the life force breath, rejuvenation, ecstasy, the Shakti from the center of the earth. And just feel her, feel that power just opening, expanding your body. And you can do the same with connecting to the cosmic force, that Shiva force. So inhaling, feeling the light descending down into your crown, into your body. As you exhale, release. For me, I'm very strongly tuned to the feminine current. So for me, inhaling from the top is actually rather difficult. It gives me actually a headache as there's too much energy. So what I do is I'm inhaling the Shakti from the earth, and as I exhale, I let the light of Shiva to fill the void. If you have closer connection or more strongly tuned to the masculine cosmic essence, it may be the opposite for you. You might be inhaling the light with a powerful breath, and as you exhale, you might let the Shakti come up. So like, just notice what current are you more strongly attuned to. Are you attuned to inhaling from the earth and exhaling down to the earth, allowing the light to fill you on the exhale? Or are you tuned to inhaling from the sky? Let yourself be filled with a golden white light, and as you exhale, allow the Shakti bubble up from the earth. This is called the Shiva breathing, and this is the Shakti, sometimes called Vashi breathing. And either is fine, whether you're man or woman. You can experience both ways actually. So coming back to our connection, just no matter which way you're breathing, just stay with your eyes closed for just a moment, and notice what's present in your body. Notice what's present energetically, what's present emotionally, what's present physically, mentally. And just whatever it is, just breathe into it. Allow it to expand. Allow that presence to expand. And then notice how it perhaps changes from one moment to the next. And with your next exhalation, open your eyes and let's connect. And come to Namaste. some notes to bring you on camera, and I have no idea how to do that. So if there's a way to actually go 2 ways to see you from the other side, let me know. Send me a little note, send me a little text. I always want to be two-dimensional. That means moving. I want to see you too. So if there's a way to make the video to see you, please let me know. I'm very dyslexic when it comes to technology. So let's come back to the Namaste. Right hand, it's the masculine side of our body, the projective hand. It projects energy. It's the hand we use for healing, for doing things. Most of us are right-brained, right-handed. Left hand, the receptive, the receiving hand, the one with a cool energy. This one is warmer. And we bring them together. And let's go really, actually, let's do it differently. Let's do the Namaste in a way of the sacred moment. So we're gonna expand the arms, expand, and oh, okay, someone wants to be my video, to be my broadcast, and I can add you. So thank you, Dayani, for helping. Oh, wonderful. And I'm just going to ask you if you can mute yourself, so there's no more sound. You have a mute button there, so there's no background noise. So let's begin again. Inhaling, exhaling, expanding the arms, palms facing upwards. And be slowly moving the arms up. And as you're moving, press your heel. If you're sitting cross-legged, press your heel against your perineum. That for male is the perineum, of course. And for woman, it would not be the perineum, it would be the clitoris. And just feel a little, you can contract and relax the pelvic muscles there. Just feel the anchoring while you're soaring the cosmos. Moving the hands together, allowing the fingertips to touch above your head, and then slowly moving the hands in front of you, and as you come closer to your heart, they close up and they connect. And you're resting with the hands at the heart. Namaste, the divine in me recognizes and honors the divine in you, and there's no separation. We are one. We are dwell in the place of truth and beauty when we are one. And that's what Namaste is. I like to do this longer version because it really brings you into your moment, into the presence of what Namaste truly is. So today, I wrote a title. It's a Satsang and book reading. And the idea is that I bring some excerpts from my book, but we also do some gentle practices. Not a heavy duty one, but just some gentle practices to help us to come back home. Because coming back home is the biggest topic of the times today. We are at times when it's called a confluence, a fancy word for it, when two yugas, two ages are literally crashing together. We are coming to the end of one yuga, one cycle of evolution, and we are coming into another one. So it's like the forces of light and dark are mixing and merging together, creating this stormy weather, literally. And I live in a Bay Area where we get the famous San Francisco fog, and it can be a beautiful sunny day, and when the fog comes, it can be like half sky of this beautiful blue, and then the fog comes and horrible turmoil comes, horrible wind and cold, and it's absolutely crazy. So I see that this is actually happening in the world. We are at the time where one cycle of the evolution is coming to an end and the other one is arriving, but we have not settled in a new just rate. So there's this big whirlwind of energy that is to wake us up and sweep all the darkness and sweep all that which is not true, which is not love. And and all that we can do is to hanging in there and coming back to ourselves, coming back to our home, coming back to the heart, and know that we are a beautiful, magical, eternal beings, and when we stay in the heart, when we stay in a place of truth, we will be moved into action at times where we need to be. We don't have to figure out what to do. I myself spend a lot of time in nature, just tuning into the divine current and being with the beauty of perfect harmony, because I know that's my home, that's who I am. And then I might be taken by the wave. Literally, I swim a lot in the bay and in the ocean. Then the wave just tells me, hey, it's time to do something. It's time to share with the world. And that's happening right now. I'm sharing with you in a small way. So there's been a lot of talk about ascension, kind of a fancy word that you might be hearing over and over. And I see it as a simple, rather simple, I don't want to make it less or anything, but it can be simplified in a way of what's happening in your body. The ascension is a jump from a walk. Oh, I would like to say the jump from living in the third chakra, the ego, into heart. So it's about 6 inches. We need to ascend about 6 inches to bring our self-awareness from the ego, from the third chakra, which is all about me, separate from others, to the heart, which is about we, about sharing, about loving, about giving, about knowing that we are all connected, and should we continue as species on the planet, we need to get along, we need to think as we, and that's what ascension is. And it sounds really simple, but it's really big, because the moment you start living from your heart, everything transforms in you. As there's a huge transformation in the brain, there's a transformation in your energy field, in your DNA. A lot of wonderful things happen. So that's what happens here, and I think it's happening to all of us. We are. I just heard this amazing thing that we are, as a planet, moving, or the whole solar system. We are flying through this big cosmic fluff, the big fluff of light in the cosmos that actually sends powerful waves of light onto the earth, onto the planet, and the heliosphere, the protection around the sun, is actually protecting us from not burning by that light, but just being illuminated. So we are actually receiving all that beautiful light, and sometimes we can really welcome it and feel that beauty, and other times it's uncomfortable because it's really illuminating. That light that is coming is illuminating our darkness. So in the past, in Tantra, we had to bring all the practices of going into the darkness, but it's getting easier and easier, because the universe is just doing that for us. We are being exposed, and all the darkness is being exposed, and all we need to do is just allow the consciousness move in there and be present. So I just want to bring the one of the most profound keystone in Tantra, which is the witness consciousness, which is that which allows you to resolve or transform even the greatest darkness without getting absorbed into the drama. So this is just a simple way. There are deeper ways of moving into that. I'm going to talk about this a little later. So you can just lick the finger up and make a little wet dot on a third eye, and that will just give you a little sensation. And close your eyes and take a deep breath, exhale, and just allow yourself to become still and allow the breath to enter and leave through that dot, that moistened dot in the third eye. Witnessing the breath as it enters and leaves. Inhaling, draw the breath in. You can give it a color if you like. You can give it a silver or white color. And exhale. Coming in and out of the third eye. And we're going to go a little further. We're going to bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And as you inhale, allow the breath to be anchored at the base of the skull. So moving through what's called the psychic bridge from the third eye to the base of the skull. And out. And just release the breath awareness and bring your awareness to all the sensations. Sensation of smells or aromas. Sensation of touch. Sensation of feelings, thoughts. And then open your eyes and stay with the sensation of your body responding to a picture, pictures. Allowing everything that's happening to be witnessed without reaction, just as if you had this tiny bit of cushion from what is happening. The tantric way is to be subjective and objective at the same time, so we are feeling, we are experiencing, but also we are witnessing without reaction. And it's easier to do it in a practice like this, but in life it's a much more interesting game, and you get in situations you can get triggered into responding out of proportion emotionally. So I keep you remaining in a witness state, and actually let's bring one more step here. Maybe not, we do it after I read a book for you, so you can stay here now. And I'm bringing my book, My Sacred Journey Through Messy Life, which I've actually published about a year ago, and I haven't done anything about it in terms of promotion because I don't do those things. Just it's too left brain, too organized, and too much effort, and I'm not there. So this is my meager way of promoting my book. That actually anyone knows about it, and even that I have a little reservation about. So I thought I'm just gonna read you. I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm just gonna share some of my writings because the impulse to write this book was totally from the source, from the guidance, and I'm writing about some very deeply intimate ways and that meant to be shared with the world. So I guess the way of uh, being in the world truly comes from being absolutely transparent, even especially in those places you want to hide. So I just opened my book, and it opened on page of 100, and this is called the dark feminine. And if you women goddesses hearing this, you will probably resonate with what I'm going to say. And for you guys, it is Shiva's divine masculine. It is a little peek about what happens to a woman when she's on her cycle, because it's a mysterious way that man can only see from the outside, and there's a lot going on inside a woman. So this chapter is called the dark feminine, on page 100. My moontime bleeding is always a rather dramatic event. In the week preceding my womb death, life support starts shutting down. Clients disappear, workshop attendees won't confirm their attendance, my email gets locked out and I lose contact with the world. My cell phone dies and my charger gets lost. In the meantime, I receive a bunch of big bills in the mail. My car breaks down, my ex-husband, my kid's father becomes annoying, and my husband does not tell me I'm beautiful, so I don't feel beautiful. Won't make love to me when I want him to, will go away when I need him, I will hang around when I want him to go away, and just can't get anything right. My kids will be asking me to either take them skiing or to an exclusive mountain resort or snorkeling on an exotic island while I count the pennies in my purse. My body puts on extra pounds and an extra 10 years of age, which only adds to the not beautiful, not desired effect and makes everything only worse. Okay, it's time to surrender. In the past, I would bleed with a new moon, the death of my wound coinciding with the death of the moon, which was well synchronized. However, at this present time, I bleed on a full moon, which I don't feel excited about because I don't get fully to savor the moonlight high, though I do feel more energetic. Also, it makes 2 dark dips in a month instead of one, and my ovulation normally at high, wildly blissful time when I want to make love to every man crossing my path is less pronounced. Remembering that our bodies belong to Mother Nature and Mother Nature performs her wisdom appeases me. I trust in what she does and surrender. When drops of dark blood are starting to appear, I know that I have only 2 to 3 days before my full-on flow. At that point, I know that it's pointless to undertake any new ventures or adventures or even try to make any money. The energy is of death and dissolution, and it is best to just surrender and get ready for it. Or, as it is said in a popular TV show, resistance is futile. I start nesting, cleaning my home and getting rid of junk that had been ignored far too long, getting very prickly about anyone stepping over my boundaries, making chocolate in a melting of the ingredients and stirring them in a crock pot while inhaling the delicious chocolatey aroma is good enough even without tasting it. Doing my creative art project without focusing on the outcome and spending ample time in nature. I slow down to listen to the intuitive spirit messages while softening more and more into a state of quiet receptivity that brings a sense of peace, joy, beauty, and inspiration. Um, it's to be continued. We going to just pause right here and just close your eyes again and stay with what's present for you. I wrote those words a few years ago, so things have shifted a little bit. It's always a new thing, but as a woman, you might resonate with some of the energetic of the situation. And in some ways, this is where we are interestingly, as a world, we are at right at the end of the cycle. We are at the end of the cycle, and having the little drips of the new cycle coming in. So what am I reading here can be actually taken as collective moon time, shedding the old, and arriving to the new. So there's it's beyond the physiologically um, physiology of whatever you call it in the body. It's as an energetic place. So I'd like to bring you back to your own practice now. So we started with the witness mode. So let's go back to that third eye, and I hope you can bring your heel against your perineum or against your clitoris, and as you dare, allow some gentle contractions in that peaceful, quiet state of witness. Bring in the contraction of either the perineum if you're Shiva, if you're man, or you can go higher up in the yoni if you're Shakti, if you're woman, goddess, contracting the area around the cervix, and allowing just the heel press against to add a little more pressure. So contracting and relaxing, and just notice the quality of the sexual energy arising from that place. I'm not talking about what Tantra is about today, assuming that all of you who are on Pink Lotus Run Tantra page or group really know. So I'm going straight into the knowing. And if you do need any more explanation, please do drop me a line. So we are tuning into the deliciousness of sexual energy that arises from the place of the witness. You can think of the witness as the Shiva, as that divine masculine, that undivided consciousness that is always present without reacting. And as you're contracting and relaxing the muscles, as you're allowing the sexual energy to be generated and flow for you, you're bringing the Shakti, you're bringing the movement, the creation. So you're actually creating amazing cosmic event in your body, because your body is, each body is a one universe on its own. So we brought the nothingness, that quiet state of the witness, and as we stirring the sexual energy, we actually allowing the Shakti to move out of Shiva and begin to dance and weave and create waves of patterns around. And that's how universe is being born. That's how everything comes out of the singularity. So this is kind of powerful event. We are taking it so for granted, and I find it so amazing. Like, wow, we are creating this new universe in our body just for allowing the sexual energy to flow. So keep contracting, keep waving. I didn't mention it, but you can. This action will naturally bring your body into the wave, especially if you're a woman or if you have a lot of feminine energy flowing through you as a man. The pelvis will naturally start undulating and creating a gentle wave. And you don't have to do anything. It's kind of going to happen as you contract. You actually, it's like a switch that happens by doing that. My body kind of automatically waves anytime I sit without thinking about it. So once that energy gets awakened, it wants to flow, and it's just yummy and blissful. So I'm continue with this Moontime reading. And again, as reading this, you might think it not as me, my body, but maybe something that's happening to us at a greater level, with the consent of our souls, who, of course, co-creating this reality. 2 days after the first drop of blood, I wake up with a pressure in my womb and a tingle in my yoni and primal desire for union. My partner ravishes my body with his hands and lips, and soon it responds with orgasmic quivers and a strong magnetic pull inside my yoni. I receive him inside, drawing him deeper and deeper. Draw him to my special spot. What is it? Is it my cervix? I don't think so. It must be my sacred spot. The moment the head of his lingam touches it, there's a switch and we merge. He becomes a part of my body, my inner beloved popping out of my heart. I start laughing uncontrollably, a deep, loud belly laugh, laughing at the great joke, the illusion of separation. Oh, how could I forget? My body expands into light, my womb into the womb of the Divine Mother, snuggled in each other's arms, foreheads touching, we drift into the astral world, the home of the individual soul, often forgotten during daily tasks, and found again. I feel my blood beginning to flow. Mosquito. We get up and I realize I have a Tantra event to teach in the evening. My email has been inaccessible for the last days, and my computer is jammed with malware, and the power cord falls out and everything goes black. I remember it's sacred time, a time to surrender and not time to work. Kali does not want to do anything with technology, and so she breaks it up. Such a power of her energy. I am wide open, my yoni, my crown, my shields. Event cancelled. Only nature can provide safe sanctuary. We pack and go to the beach. It's clear, sunny, but cold and windy day. The waves are laced with droplets of water being blown into the wind, while the wind-blown sand dances in long, wavy, surreal-looking strips. The sea sponge inside my yoni makes me intimately connected with the great wild ocean. I feel her passionate force within me. We walk alongside cliffs where the water emerges from rocky cracks, running over the crusty earth, creating multiplied nectar-filled yonis. One glimpse at those brings me back into the astral. I lay down on the warm sand, womb to womb, letting the mother soothe the pain of my contractions. It feels so comforting and mystical that I immediately merge with her. I become the earth, the soothing, nurturing, still darkness. After a short rest, we continue walking. My body feels sacred. I feel sacred. I see myself in the moist yoni rocks, in the flowers, in the ocean, in the wind-blown sand. It is almost full moon gracing the sky. Just one look and there's an instant recognition, bringing tears to my eyes. I lovingly look at my beloved. I'm in love. He has a piece Kali in me, and she has not chopped his head off. Not yet. We walk over to Sculpture Beach, an enchanted area with intense rock formation. My bare feet get reflexology treatment, stepping over spiky areas. I keep stopping, pressing my womb against the smooth areas, receiving their soothing, sun-incubated heat. Thanking Mother Earth for my body, for holding me. We come to discover some caves. I pause in one to take out my sea sponge and drink my blood. I feel an instant jolt of energy, but I keep squatting, bleeding into the moist sand. It feels primal and so natural. I am one with earth. A thought comes to me that women bleed back into earth. She will get enough nourishment and may will not need to shed blood in wars. It's a really long chapter, so let's pause here again. Just reflect on what has been read. It's acknowledge I'm not as the best at reading, like some professional readers, or some people have this beautiful, amazing reading voices. I'm kind of stumbling over my own words. Sometimes shocked at what I wrote, but yes. So as I reflect to what I wrote, I can reflect on what's happening right now. Yes, we're in a time of surrender. When you feel you don't know what to do, maybe this is the time for you to just rest in stillness. Just time to just stay in a mystery and let she take you where you need to be taken. For many of us, it is that hanging in, that being in that place of just opening, accessing our pure beingness, accessing the current. Sometimes there's a stillness, and there has been many, many, many long years of instant, continuous activity on the earth, and so much doing that many of us lost connection with the beingness. So I perceive it's an opening right now to be and to surrender with that collective womb death, allowing the old to be shed, the patterns that no longer serving us to be released and transformed, and underneath which is the light, the bliss, the beauty, that heart that is always full of love, that way of being in love. And even though I know it's sometimes hard to apply, and all the craziness what's happening, that is the truth. That's what's happening. We are being broken apart, broken. So like the Humpty Dumpty, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. So like the ego is the Humpty Dumpty, and the true being is coming. So let's just move one step closer. We have the witness, we have the contractions of the yoni or the perineum, and let's now build onto that and start breathing up, inhaling from the pelvis to the heart, and exhale. Allow the heart to just expand, and again as you're inhaling, drawing from that delicious place in the pelvis, and exhale. If you're a woman, there's a chance this energy is flowing to the heart automatically. Sometimes when we have blockages, the energy doesn't flow, and we need to help. We need some help moving it up. Sometimes we need a big help move it up, but it's wonderful if you can move the energy up and move it through the heart, and just feeling that opening. And I'm going to read a little more. So we have a picnic. I take a nap in the sand while the kids explore crabs, shells, and other ocean creatures. We play outlining each other's shadows, exploring more caves, having fun. On the way back, Tiki impulsively jumped in a big hole. He had been forewarned it was dangerous, and Leela has a momentous attitude issue. At this point, I know things won't get any better. I am done with kids, at least for now, and walk the rest of the way alone. The sharp, cutting wind makes it hard to walk, and I am grateful for my sunglasses as the blowing sand like million needles pricks my skin. The ocean is too raging. Dark thoughts about dying in a windstorm enter my mind. My womb pulses in painful contractions, shedding the old for the new to come. As above, so below. As I look at the moon for rescue and feel relieved. It's okay. I'm dying, that's all. I'm tripping, spinning higher and higher in an altered state, my heart and womb wide open, emotions dancing wild, crying, laughing, one moment from pain, the next one from love. I'm kind of spinning reading this. It was totally unexpected because all that it's written here can be applied to the current situation we are. Wind to move into our own space. So it's just wonderful how The cycles as above, so below are moving. And I hope you're remaining with a witness and the of the energy, sexual energy moving through the heart, allowing. Um, let's uh, let's do this collectively. It's called actually transmutation. So we inhale and use the hands to bring them to the heart, and then exhale. And then inhale, draw the energy from the pelvis to the heart and contract, hold it in the heart with the contraction of the perineum or the yoni. And exhale, send it out. And send it out to all of us, to the world. Sending it to the camera, to anyone who's watching it, and just sending it out into the worldwide web of consciousness. One more, inhaling, exhale. Okay, you can just feel the space you've created inside you while I continue reading. The evening goes quite smoothly. The kids stop grumping about the meanest, most horrible mom who does not want to give them a movie night, made a romantic dinner, and went to bed early, tired from the outing. I watched the candlelit bath water turning sheer pink and then red, and spent the rest of the night sitting by the fire, painting whilst having my back massaged, leaving a bloody stain on the rug I was sitting on. Western women are conditioned to hide their periods with super-absorbent and possibly toxic tampons, pills, and pain medication, and act as everything is normal. Why nothing is normal? Periods are messy, and that is mentally, emotionally, physically, and all over. When I bleed, everyone knows. My husband knows, my kids know, my friends know. I stop communicating with them, and every man who dares to cross my path and does not act humble will know better for the rest of his life. Next morning we make love again. My partner does not know better and does everything, or does know better, and does everything to maintain at least a string of connection before I drift away into the dark never land, which feels lonely or lovely until Tiki runs through the door and complains that the almond milk they are trying to make does not taste good. We get up and realize it's late and stress about having missed the morning sun. The house is a mess. The kitchen is laid out with possibly all the dishes and utensils we have, in the midst of which is a plugged-in waffle maker stained with dough that's dribbled over the counters and drips onto the floor. Mixing with the bird seed and cat food, the waffles smell good though. The living room couch and floor are covered with books, colored papers, paper clippings, glue bottles, pencils, markers, rocks, beads, shells, lanyard string, yarn, cotton wool, and God knows what, in the midst of which Leela is sitting by an easel with a paintbrush trying to imitate me. Wow, minus the man's hair art is actually really good. And a cat walking with a paint on his tail. One look at the computer and the phone messages indicate, and I start shaking with disgust, feeling the pressure building inside. I walk out naked onto the deck, do some stretches, and let the sun kiss my skin and dry my dripping lemongrass conditioner smelling hair. Then quickly eat, grab some dark chocolate and my iPod, the only piece of technology I can tolerate at this time, and run out, walk into the ridge, remembering to breathe. I reach the private area facing the ocean, take my shoes off, put the headphones on, and dance, dance, dance. Tears are running, and the blood is dripping, long skirt and no undies, into the earth, releasing all tension. Then the tears of pain turn into the tears of bliss, and as I feel the divine current possessing me, I am free, one with earth, one with the trees, one with the ocean, one with the sky, one with love. I lie gratefully belly to belly, womb to womb on the soft grass, inhaling the rich musk descent. I lie for a long time. It's not over yet though. The exact moment of death happens about 36 hours from the beginning of the flow, and I'm just heading there. In the rest of the day, things only keep getting worse. I want to be alone. My kids drive me mad. Akama drives me mad, and I scream and cry and rage and pull out my invisible scimitar to chop his head off. I do my Kali dance until I'm finally on my own again. My headache, caused by having my crown and third eye wide open to receive higher wisdom but not paying attention to it, finally eases, and a flow of crystal clear cosmic awareness soothes my being and my body. I feel softening and expanding. As I slow down and listen, I receive much inspiration and guidance. Part of it is to be working with birthing women and pregnant couples. I promise I gave myself and God a long time ago. I'm grateful for being reminded. The time will come, I trust. So again, let's take a moment of break, integrating. And again, I'm feeling, hope you can feel it too. There's just so much mirroring of what's happening right now collectively. The mess, there's a mess everywhere, chaos everywhere. Things that are supposed to work, they're not working, and other things happening. And the only thing we might need to do is just to run away from, not running away as a way of giving up and just coming to our own space, leaving the craziness behind and knowing the truth, which lies within. One of my teachers used to say, remain in the truth of your dwelling while your house is on fire. So while there's a chaos and craziness everywhere and mess everywhere, we run to our true home, in a place of bliss, a place of stillness, a place of peace, harmony. So I'm going to complete the chapter, and then we're going to complete in a bigger way. Many intense fall apart time things happen that evening, breaking me mentally and emotionally. I remind myself to stay within and not to give in to the external demons. I remember to breathe, to remain conscious in surrendered to the death of my womb, to myself. My carefully constructed personality is shredded into a million bloody pieces, and all that is left is pure nothing. That empty nothing is filled with love, deep, dark love. Not the fluffy pink lovey-dovey one. Dark love emerging from the black light of Isis, the still emerging beginning before creation. Ah, even the most loving, caring men have no idea what an incense ritual a woman goes through every month. Just like the moon waxing into fullness and waning into blackness, with each cycle of a moon, woman is reborn, coming to blossoming and fruition, then slowly falling anew. This internal happening is so intensely real and yet so hidden from the eyes of onlookers. Woman's cycle holds the key to understanding life. How much different our life would be if women's cycles were recognized, honored, and drawn upon in some highly evolved cultures in the past? It's late at night. I'm in awe gaze at the full moon. She's bathing the landscape around my house in a mystical silver light. I am reborn. The pressure is easing off, but just like a newborn, I will remain tender for the next few days. So yes, we are in the cycle within the cycle. We are coming apart, shedding blood and tears, and becoming reborn. And I, as I've written, I still think that the moment women's cycles become treasured by men will be a point of transformation for the planet. Because as a humanity, while we're living in a form in this body, we live the feminine way. We live through the goddess. And as long as a woman is being oppressed in any ways, her cycles not respected, her unique ways are not respected and honored, we are moving against life, against divinity, against creation. It makes me very sad to see laws even in some of our state that tell what women should do with her body. I'm not going to go deeper in here, but when society tells a woman what to do with her body, it is a disconnect from life. It is going against the way of the feminine. There's been many, many ways against the feminine. My biggest thorn in the eye is the weather manipulation, manipulating rain, the water. And I'm just hoping, I'm trusting that we move through this end of cycle in the least painful way, that we will rise into our hearts, we will rise into a place of connection and love, and make the collective leap of consciousness that has been talked about, and that we stay open, that we do not get into reaction. I do not go to Facebook much anymore because there's just so much hate and criticism and negativity. And when you hate someone, when you're negative, when you express all the darkness to others, you're robbing yourself from light. You're robbing those who are projected upon from light. You're robbing the whole web of communal collective consciousness of light. So I can't help being biased, seeing Tantra as a way of transformation of the world. Perhaps the most powerful one because it's so all-inclusive. It doesn't focus just on that light from above. It goes down, down into the body. And when I say Tantra, I do not mean just that the Indian way. There are many other practices that could be considered tantric, but we need to bring the whole body in. We need to bring the sexual energy in, which is the force of transformation, which is the force of awakening, and come back to who we truly are. In that sense, I'd like to invite you to initiate your own ascension into awakening. If you have not done yet, one of the most, I'm involved with two powerful Tantra practices. One is called the Cosmic Cobra Breath, which comes from Mahavatar Babaji, which is a way of activating Kundalini, the divine power, dreaming at the base of, activates Kundalini energy and transforms your DNA, literally creates awakening in your whole being. And it's also a beautiful way to transform sexual energy during lovemaking, to bring it to higher state of awakening, higher state of being. I'm going to talk about this a little more with my next video. So The Cobra Breath traditionally has been given from a teacher to the student in a direct, personal, oral way. And we did it in a over the weekend workshop, and we would go through a set of practices to really open the body, to allow the nervous system to accommodate a powerful influx of energy. Because with the Cobra Breath, the root opens, allowing more sexual energy coming through, and the third eye opens to allow the consciousness to be wide open. That's very important when you have Kundalini coming up, because it's an intense energy that will start shift things and move things, and you want to be awakened to that. So that used to be, and right now it's not possible. So we have a wonderful way of actually working long distance through something called the Ipsalo Practicum, when you work and you get initiated in a video. And the other set of practices called the Sacred Flow, which is another way of awakening into your beingness, into that which you are beyond this body. It's kind of the feminine counterpart of the Cobra Breath, and especially wonderful for couples, because it's a practice that activates the innate feminine, innate masculine within you, and creates this beautiful polarity in relationship that arises to this delicious cosmic connection between you, and the merging as the Shiva and Shakti. So again, it's a practice I would do in a workshop, and I'm coming to a place of doing it as a course over the video online, and there might be a lot of amazing discoveries doing it that way. We always opening to the new, and in both the Cobra Breath and the Sacred Flow, we know that though we work with the physical body, we really moving energy. So energy is palpable, so it does not really matter whether we are together physically or not. We can feel each other, and that's actually the beauty of the current situation. We get to really feel energy, that that connection beyond. So I'm probably gonna go deeper into that in another video. I'll do some preparation. It was totally unprepared today. So thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being there. Wonderful to see you, see your name. It's been a long time. And thanking you all who watching this video in a replay and putting up with my bubbling. I need to get a little better at reading, and but that's what I am now. And I hope that you will be inspired to perhaps do some tantric work, whether you're with me or with someone else. I'll be thrilled to work with you both with the Cobra Breath or in the Sacred Flow. And if you're interested in more of the book, it's called My Sacred Journey Through a Messy Life, Tantra as you may not know it. It's on my website. When you go to pinklotus with 2 s's.com, you can just click on the picture of the book and get it from there. It's also on Amazon, so it's widely accessible. So, it has a purpose. So thank you so much for being with me tonight. Have a beautiful evening, and let's just hang in there, hanging the crazy, wild swirl of transformation, knowing that there is a home of beauty, of love, of harmony. I love you all. Namaste.